Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Bill, and in today's video, I needed to do that for her. In today's video, we have a celebrity that just rose like a shooting star, literally overnight. This week has been incredible. Her name is Laila White. She is Singaporean, folks. I need to get that straight. Laila White is Singaporean, and she is a mother. She's a knockout. Her body is incredible. Her brain is even more incredible, and we have her on today. Now, if you guys have not been keeping up with all the hubbub about Laila White, you need to check it out. And we're going to scroll through that in just a moment. But we're going to bring on Laila. Okay, so Laila, come on over. Okay, there's Laila White. How you doing, Laila?
Hi, I'm good. My God, that feels like a bit too much. And it's almost, if I were lighter, I would be turning red. Thank you for the introduction, Bill. It's always a pleasure. It's a bit weird because now I'm on the other side and it's like full circle. I remember this in the beginning where you interviewed me for the first event, and it's come full circle.
I know, it's kind of weird, huh? And how do you like my my framework there for you? That's for you. That's a Christmas gift to you.
That's very.
Can you see that on your? Can you see that on your laptop?
No, it's very sweet for thought, but I can't see it. But I love the thought.
Summer. Okay, well, viewers will be able to see it. Okay, if you were actually looking on your iPhone, if you're looking at your Facebook, then you would be able to see it. Because all you're seeing now is just yourself and be like, anyway, Laila, this is fantastic. And we're just going to step right in here for people who are coming on board. Everyone, what we want you to do is we want you to go ahead and follow Laila because she has a lot of really fantastic things that are coming up. Her life, her planet, her brain has all kinds of exciting things that you want to go ahead and tap into. So what you can do is you can go ahead and follow some links that we're going to be putting up later. And Laila also has a special Christmas gift for everyone who is viewing this live and for everyone who's going to watch the recording later. And so what we're going to do is we're going to throw that link up later on, and you're going to love it. Okay, you really want to get on board. So let's just get started here. Laila, what's really interesting, and I'm going to show people here, I'm going to share my screen so that people can actually, for people who are just coming on or for people who are coming on live or who came on with the replay, this is what Laila is all about, which is really kind of cool. I'm gonna pull this up here for just a moment, if you guys can see that. Now, I'm gonna scroll up here. This is the article. I'll go all the way back down here. For those people who have not seen this, you really need to get on board. Okay, this was in Mail Online, and this is from the UK. And as you can see, it says the mother of two flaunts her gem-honed physique and stunning bikini shots as she reveals how she went from being skinny to strong like a bull. So can you guess how old she is? Which is kind of silly, Laila, because they put down here, can you guess how old she is? But then they wrote it in the paragraph before. Duh. Okay, so anyway, that's just my take on it. They should have just left for people to actually guess. I thought that would have been cool. Don't you think that would have been cool?
I think that people hate the guessing game, so it's a lot easier to just tell people how old I am, I think. One thing that I have never been embarrassed or secretive about is my age. Whether I lie about it or not, I will still be 50. So, no difference to me.
But but it's not about you. It's no fun if we can't guess, okay? You just have fun of that. Because people like to go, okay, she's 15. Okay. She's 100.
Oh, really?
The excitement in that. And so then you can make comments like, oh, come on, be real. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, but people that know me also, they hardly, they don't know how old I am. Most of the people that don't know how old I am. So it really, it would be cool, but the guessing game is always very dangerous. To me, if you look good and people say, oh, you look younger, it's fantastic. And then if they guess the wrong age, you go like, oh my God, so let's put it out there.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go off into that little tangent. But so if individuals are looking to their left, we're going to scroll through. This is the article, folks, if you didn't have a chance to see it. And this is fantastic. This link is already, Laila put up a video link to this broadcast today. And so you can take a look at that. You know what I like about this, Laila? And I'm looking over to my other screen here. So that's why I'm looking off to everyone's right. all of these images are so different for you. You have a different look. This is what I call the Wonder Woman look. That one there. That is fascinating. I mean, the lighting on there, just the moisture on your back, that is so brilliant. Artistically, that looks beautiful. And then you go down, I don't know why they always put all this other crap in here, okay, with the articles. Who cares about a ring? Okay, let's get to Laila. And what's brilliant, Laila, and we're going to touch on this, is look at this, 2.3 thousand shares, okay? And that's you and your daughters. Is that right, Laila?
Yes, yes, they are.
Are they in Singapore or are they abroad? What?
My kids are very fortunate now. They are in the US studying in universities. So my children are not teenagers as reported. They are 21 and 23. So yeah, they're studying. So they've got another couple of semesters, and hopefully I'm still alive and able to pay for their horrendous amount of tuition.
There you go. Cool. Okay. And then the next picture here. Okay. Oops. My scroll wheel is not working so well. So Laila, I have a question. Now, I noticed that the picture on the left appears to be when you're on holiday, and the picture on the right looks like it's in a studio. So were those studio shots?
Yes, I thank God you talk about that. You asked me about that, because I think, I'm always grateful for people that help me out. When I was 49 last year, I decided I'm not very good with equal numbers. Don't ask me why. I'm very good with uneven numbers. So when I was 49, was about to turn 49, I approached my friend who lives in Dubai, an old friend. He's a fantastic, one of the top photographers in Dubai. So I reached out to Adam Brown and asked him, I said, hey, will you do me a favor? I'm celebrating my 49th birthday. I want to do this kind of shots. So he was excellent. So before that, the hard work was, the dieting, the exercise, and the discipline. So those are shot in Dubai in his studio.
Fantastic.
And then the back, the back shot.
Are they
so the
both
one on,
shot?
No, the one that with my back, that's from Adam also. The one on the left is when I was in West Palm visiting my children and family, my sister. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then these shots. Okay. I have some feedback coming through. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Okay, folks, if there's some feedback, apologies. All right, so Laila, this shot here, now you're also a gym designer, right? Is that where this was taken, at one of your gym designs?
No, this is one of the equipment supplier that I went to visit in order to look at equipments for my client's gym in Brunei. So that was shot because I love the way it looks. So that's not one of my gyms that I designed.
Okay. And this one here is intriguing. I love the water line that's going on there. And so, obviously this was on holiday or something like that. So we'll just keep going here. What I really find it's...
Sorry, actually, that was not on holiday. That was part of work when I finished. So I designed the gym for Four Seasons, DIFC, and Jumeirah. So there are two gyms in hotels in Dubai that I designed. So that is after inspecting everything that went right. So I jumped into the beautiful pool that's called an aquarium.
Wow. I'm gonna let everyone see this here. That's amazing. Folks, can you imagine? We're gonna bring Laila back and myself in just a moment, but you really need to check out these pictures. And Laila, you were saying that this is when you were working?
I mean, after work, so.
Man, we would all love to have a job like that, right? That is so fantastic. And then this photo here, Laila.
Yes.
These two here, what's so incredible about these two shots is that the personality, you have personality through all these pictures. It's just fascinating. I mean, and obviously, this is the reason why global media is so drawn to you, because of your personality, because of your character, and obviously because of your beauty. And I think these two photos in and of themselves are so distinctly different. Tell us about these.
Okay, the one on the left in black is when we did the first Fitness Best Asia Awards in May this year. So I'm the managing director of Fitness Best Asia Awards. So on the right in white, my very good friend Wadi, he's also a very famous photographer. So we went to visit him. My girlfriend Inda and I went to visit him at this restaurant where it's a great concept where you can take photographs, while you come in. It's a great concept. So he took that picture. So Wadi is one of my good friend too. So very privileged.
Excellent, excellent. So those are the photographs, people. We're gonna get back to Laila, and we're gonna talk to you. Hold on a second. Let me find all of my stuff here. So I just had some stuff disappear. Where'd my stuff go? Okay, hold on. Sorry, Laila. Give me a second. I'm trying to find my agenda.
You have an agenda?
I have an agenda, and you're on my agenda. Okay. All right. Laila, what's really interesting, and folks, if you're just tuning in, we're speaking with Laila. She is literally an international celebrity. She's been covered everywhere. And Laila, you have, everyone loves you. I mean, all over the place, the UK, Belgium, Brazil, Croatia, Serbia, US, Africa, Poland, and Canada. I mean, that's incredible. How do you feel about that? The fact that all these people love you so much.
Oh, I'm a bit shocked still. I'm overwhelmed. I think that it has not hit me, or it will never hit me, because I've been doing this as part of my life anyways. So to be in the public view, it's more of a shock than, wow, I've made it for me. But when you say everybody loves me, there are a lot of people that didn't agree, and it's okay too. I think everybody's allowed to vent and have their opinions. So I'm okay. I mean, what is most incredible to me are my friends, people that I know, even through Facebook, and my family are so proud of me, and they talk about it, so that's where I feel good about that. My friends have always been supportive towards me, my family, my kids. So it hasn't changed me. Success and so-called fame has never changed me. So if you know where you come from, where you come from. When you know where you come from, everything else that good happens to you, it's a blessing, and you always have to feel grateful for it.
Well, that's what's fantastic about you, Laila, because you come from that place. Celebrityism has a tendency to overwhelm some people. They don't know how to deal with it. And that's knowing you as a friend and as a business colleague. That's what's fascinating, is that you never lose who you are. You're always authentic. And I think that's the reason why people they're just so riveted by you, and they move towards you, because that's what they feel, that spirit of you. So that's really great. Speaking of spirit, okay, before we go on, I understand that you have, hold on a second. You have a Christmas gift for everyone. So for those people who are ringing in right now, you've got to stay on board, and you've got to make sure, we'll put the link up later, Laila, in terms of your Christmas gift. So can you give us a hint as to what that Christmas gift is going to be for everyone?
So I've always been asked for, I've been in this fitness industry, just like you, Bill, for a long time, for 20 years. And I've always been asked, why don't you put up video? Why don't you reach out, do online training and all that jazz? So I finally decided to make a workout video that I'm gonna give it as a present on the 26th of December. So if everybody, who are interested, who wants to start, just send in your email, and where you are going to. Oh, you put it up.
Yes.
so that's where we start. So there's going to be exercises on a video that you can follow.
Excellent. And so it's going to be on the 26th, right? That means
Correct.
But can they sign up anytime, or do they have to wait until the 26th to sign up?
They can sign up anytime. Then it's almost like, waiting to unwrap a present. So you sign up now, and then you unwrap the present on the 26th.
Okay, great. Excellent. And this is your Xmas. This is going to be your Christmas gift. And so, folks, we're going to put that link up again later on in the show after all of this. After all this happens, we'll put the link up in the comment section, and that way you'll be able to click directly on it and have access to Laila's program. That's really exciting. And Laila, thank you so much for doing that to everyone. All right, let's get back to you. Okay, let's get back to you. First question I have for you, Laila, is you mentioned in your article when they interviewed you, you mentioned that the confidence and energy that training has given me cannot be compared to who I was before. Can you share with us who were you before, and what is it that you did that actually changed your confidence? I
was skinny, even with till I was, my God, before I even got pregnant. I'm always tired. I don't have any energy. You know, I'm not goal orientated. So after I had the kids, then it was a slight struggle because you've always been skinny and you don't like being skinny. Then you gain weight and then you gain too much weight. The confidence level went down. So for me, it started with at home. My brother helped me with a few exercises. I've always mentioned him. And from there, my interest grew. And I started doing weight training and I started doing aerobics. You know, I started falling in love with the process. Now I'm confident to say that I hardly get sick. That's the key. But also I'm very confident and my posture is better. I walk with confidence. I can walk into any gym around the world and be confident of myself, because the tendency of women going to facilities is they're always self-conscious. They always think that, oh, you know, somebody's looking at me. But if you start, and the honest truth is, if you are so self-conscious because the gym is comprised of men too, this is breaking news. Men are very conceited at the gym. They are so into themselves. They will pull up their t-shirt to see their abs. They're going to flex. So maybe they look at you for 5 minutes. After that, they don't care. So for me, the confidence that I have and to be able to, believe, because of what I believe in, it's easier for me to, how do I say it without losing it? To tackle anything in my life, you know, whether it's work, whether it's home front. So and it brings also the endorphin starts kicking in. It gives you some kind of high, right? So you're always energetic. So whatever you do you invest in the exercise, it will complement the rest of your day. So that's what I mean.
So Laila, you just mentioned that it gave you confidence in going to the gym, but it also gave you confidence as a person. So are those things two different things that women should think about in terms of, you know, when they start moving forward to be healthy individuals? Can you explain a little bit more about the difference between having confidence to go into a gym and how you have confidence as a person? How did that change you?
It changed me in a sense because I love myself. I see the process, and once you see, it's like taking care of a baby. You love the baby more and more if you take care of it. So once I keep taking care of myself, you know, I know the positivity in my life tends to be more prominent, and the way I see things also change. So the negative parts almost doesn't exist. So for me, when I go for business, I know what I'm talking about because it has led me as my profession. So I know what I'm talking about when I go to a business meeting. So for me, I don't know whether that answers your question. I can't articulate it, but the confidence that I know as a person plus the exercise goes hand in hand. It just empowers me more.
Yeah, that you answered it perfectly. That's brilliant. And we'll get back to a little bit of that about women and business and all that kind of stuff later on. Let's go straight to the actual coverage the international coverage, and which is actually catapulted you into a global celebrity at the click of a switch. Can you share with us, if you don't mind, some of the funniest comments that you've gotten from people in terms of their feedback on all your articles and stuff?
I think I'm going to share the two funniest. I think the first is when they call me. I mean, I don't want to, you know, it's a battle, because if you give it voice, that means that you're empowering it, right? So I'm kind of, but screw it, I'm going to say it. So they talk about, of course, she looks good, you know, she must have done not just her breast, but of course, the amount of money she spent on her face, you know, collagen and Botox. And for me, that was funny because, you know, I'm too cheap because I don't have any more money. I can't do my face. And the biggest thing is I am afraid of anything that goes, you know, I mean, if they come up with a better invention, I will not say no, but thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. The other one, they talk about me being, oh, she must be a tranny. You know, look at all her muscle. Well, if my tiny muscles, you know, makes you uncomfortable, then I'm sorry, you know, maybe it's bigger than yours. I'm so sorry for you, but thank you for that comment too. And even if I were a transvestite, I don't know, I think that that word is offensive to transsexuals, transvestites. You know, there are a lot more beautiful transgender than I am, and I'll take that as a compliment.
Okay, so that was the funniest. That sounded really interesting. So I guess it's really not what, if I can just recap for people who are watching, it's more of misconceptions that people have, right? Or things that they don't know, as opposed to like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, but I think people, once you put yourself in public viewing, I mean, who am I? I'm a girl from Asia in Singapore, and I come from a humble beginning in a kampong, you know, and I just imagine the celebrities, they get lashing everywhere. So for me, is you take the time to spout all these things. It's not a reflection of me, it's a reflection of you. And I send you all the love because, you know, you need it. I don't. I'm very comfortable in my skin. I know where I come from.
Got it. Are you guys listening out there? All you celebrities want to be real and authentic. Okay. Don't pretend. That's so cool. All right. Next question. In terms of your coverage. Okay. What were some of the comments that really upset you?
I don't, you know, I don't think it upsets me. I think it shocked me. Not because of what they say, but where it comes from. So for example, like most of the bad comments were from men. And I'm like, whoa, you know, we always assume women are always jealous. You know, of course there's a few. I mean, it's a natural thing, okay? You can't stop it. But coming from men, I go like, whoa, it's really, what is happening to the men? What's happening to the gender of men? You know, why are they spouting so much hatred? So my conclusion on my other side of the brain, whatever, if there's any, is it because of the sexual harassment that's going on now? Is it because that they are upset and they're lashing out because they have to relearn how to behave towards women, because women are more outspoken about it? So I was more shocked than upset about it. So because I didn't expect this from men, so I'm just shocked. I just think that, you know, you man up, you know, be a man, you know, that phrase, be a man, but no pun intended, but be a man, you know, be the man that you always think that you are. Gracious, be graceful, you know. But it's their opinion and I don't share the same opinion. So I was just not upset, but shocked. I think my children, my friends, my clients are upset by it because they could not fathom the idea of people lashing out. For me, I'm very balanced. I know I had to talk to my girls and I said, listen, you know, have you seen my life? You know, it changed and I'm still working. I wake up, you know, I do the same thing. It doesn't change me. What they say is doesn't mean anything. People that it's funny, Bill. I know I'm going on and on, but you know the internet has given people a voice. I'm sure people that see me and know me, they might say something behind my back, but now they have an outlet, you know, that they get. But you know, I choose to take it. I see it, and I don't want. There was a point where maybe 2 or 3 comments, and I go and I look at themselves, and they go like, some of them say, "Oh, you know, she's not 50, she must be 70. Let's look at her hands and her feet and see how wrinkled they are." So I look at them and I go like, "Whoa, then I had to stop myself because I go like, it's a vicious cycle because I'm doing the same thing, right? So I had to re-brain, and you know, my life is always about learning. So I had to stop it, and you know, so what? It doesn't. Words don't break me. I have gone through life a lot that could have broken me, and it hasn't. So you know, they need to lash out, and as long as they have a place to lash out and talk about me, and don't end it with violence, I don't care. Say it. Doesn't affect me.
That's great, Laila.
That's great,
Now,
Lila. Now
I'm going to be a
I'm gonna
little
be a little
tabloidish
tabloidish
a bit because you've got my curiosity. I want to know, can you share with us some of those shockings? You just mentioned about some people were saying that, oh yeah, let's look at her hands and her feet. Where does that come from? That is so weird. Give us some more. What else? What else? Come on. Tell us some other comments. It's okay. We want to hear.
So the other comments is like the unattractive. It's like, oh, you know, it became vulgar also. You know, let me put it in her and see how, you know, I was like, whoa, this really got no style, you know, I'm sorry, you're not classy at all. And then there are comments like, you know, I will never want to be, I would never want to be like her because all the time that she has spent in the gym, you know, it's a waste of life. Fine, don't. Then look the way you are happy with the way you look. That's fine. Good for you. And what else? The funny one is it's a compliment, and also, you know, but to each its own. If I get the phrase right, is, you know, she looks great, but I prefer a woman with some handles on the side. And I was like, hey, that's fantastic. But those are the kinds of things that I get it. You know, that she she looks 52, and I was like, okay, I can thank you. At least I'm alive and not dead. At least I'm 50 or 60 or 70 and I'm not dead. So that's a blessing in itself.
Now, you mentioned something just now, Laila, in terms of all these comments and how you're still who you are, and how if you're a celebrity like you are, you're going to open the door for people to judge you.
Yep.
Now, of course, and you mentioned this as well. You mentioned that at least you're alive, because we're all humans. Do these comments, whether or not they're good, bad, silly, funny, ridiculous, do they affect you? Because it's really tough to kind of turn off our feelings, right? How do you feel when you get that? And if you feel a certain way, what do you tell yourself in order to either stop that feeling or to to brush it off? Is it possible as a human being?
I think for me, and I would like to give you a version of nobility. I think for me, it's very easy because all my life in schools or in modeling, I was always told too skinny, too dark, you know, so I've had firsthand practice with this. When I was 13, then I decided that this is who I am and I better live with it. So once you decide what your other qualities are besides the outlook, are you getting feedback?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, so for me, if you know who you are and your integrity and the inside of you, then you know it all come together. So I wasn't I brushed it off because I've been in modeling, I've been in I've done a lot of work, and I deal with people all my life, interaction with people. So I know this firsthand. So going back to, I know who I am. I know what makes me. I know I'm a good person. I know that I help a lot of people when I can. My my intention. I always set my intention every morning I wake up before I start my day. So I think if you're not comfortable with yourself and you are trying to be somebody else, then it will affect you. So I brush it off because it doesn't enhance my life. It doesn't do anything for my life. All the comments that they were talking about the way I look, my hands, all that, I can't do anything about it. You know, I'm not going to inject whatever it is to change. And I'm the latest person. So it's almost ridiculous to think that, oh, the amount of time I spend with my hair and my makeup, you know, I hardly wear makeup when I work as a personal trainer because I can't be bothered. And I you know, it's just, for me, it's very simple. I brush it off, you know, because it doesn't, you need good words to lift you up. So why am I going to take all these bad words to lift me down? You know, I'm lucky because I am like a bull, right? I'm very stubborn. I know that I won't allow anybody to give me negativity. I rather, when you have I rather you come bringing me solutions with a problem instead of beating down the problem and bringing negativity. It doesn't solve anything. So that's how I work, and I'm very blessed. Maybe it's genetic, or I'm very blessed in the sense that when you are young, you're being beaten up so many times that you either live with it, move forward, change your mindset first, and anything else, then it will work for you.
That's fascinating. So basically it comes down to experience, and even because we are human, right? We do get hurt. We're emotional beings. We're not just robots. But as we go along and as those pains and those failures reach us in our life, we just have to reflect back onto it and become stronger. That's what I'm getting from what you're saying.
Right. That exactly. I'm a bit long-winded, but that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm just summarizing exactly what you said, which is brilliant, Okay. So Laila, in that, because a lot of people are going to be looking up to you based on your international celebrityism, what you say, the programs that you put together. And that's a beautiful thing because people have been doing this for a long time. I mean, I've been following all of the activities that you've been doing and all the projects, and it's just fascinating. I mean, if people who are tuning in right now, we're live with Laila, okay? And she has just gained international coverage over the media everywhere, from Belgium to Brazil to the United Kingdom to United States, just all over the place. And it's fascinating. And Laila, what's really interesting about that is that you have thousands and thousands of followers, but based on comments and people who ring into your social media, what inspires you? What drives you? What do you look up to?
I think when people, I'm a bit choked up when people send me messages saying that, wow, thank you, you inspire me. Thank you for portraying the age group that some kind of hope. I've had, as a personal trainer, I work with clients closely. So I think the comments that I get from my clients are important to me. They mean a lot to me, not just the physical change, but the emotional support that they got from me. I had a client that told me that if I didn't take her as a client or met me, it sounds like a pat on the back, which I'm always very uncomfortable to talk about. She said that she would have ended her life a long time ago, to give a purpose in life. So those are compliments without me trying to inspire or do something good. It's human nature. You're supposed to help each other out. So for comments that I got from people, mostly inspiration, And they love what I love is they say live your life, and I say yes, that's one thing that I stand up for, is to live my life the way I want to, and I will take all the consequences with all my decisions, whether it's good or bad.
Are there any like movie stars that are on the other side of the planet that are inspiring to you? Are there authors? Are there talk shows? Because you did mention that your brother inspired you to start working out. Is there anyone else?
Well, there's a lot of them. So if you don't mind me, let's start at the home ground first. Okay. First is Alima Yatim, which is my mother. She inspires me to have not just, she doesn't exercise, and she has like the luxury or the downfall of all kinds of heart problems you can have. She has it, so she's very mobile. She's very active in the sense that she takes care of the home. She takes care of 9 kids. My aunties, Rahima Yatim, Pauzia, and my sisters. We are all working women. They inspire me. They work. They maintain a home. I would like them to exercise more, but hey, they inspire me because they function, they move, they take care of the family. I wish they would take care of themselves a little bit more, but the ability to take care of 9 kids, it's amazing to me. And I've mentioned this before, I've always thought that my father was the strong one, but I'm beginning to believe that my mom is the stronger person in the family. And then we moved to Alima Yaakob. So she's the first president in Singapore who happens to be a woman. So that changes everything for me. Despite whatever is being said, or I don't care. She's the first woman. So I'm very proud. I've seen this country change. I lived in a village since I was 13, and we moved to HDB, Housing Development Board, which is government housing, which is 90% of housing in Singapore is government housing, which is, it's expensive, but it's well maintained. So then we move across the globe a bit. I have to hand it to Jane Fonda. So she changed, the fitness world, especially with women, for women. And then Gloria Steinman, I love her quote. I love what she has done with Jane Fonda also. She worked hand in hand for feminism. She's a spokesperson. But I love her quote. If she says, I wrote this down. Can I just grab it?
Yes.
Sorry. But here comes the true Laila, because as good as everybody keeps saying I look, I still need my eyes. So, so she says, we've begun to raise daughters more like sons, but few have the courage to raise our sons more like daughters. To me, it's like we've told girls, talk a certain way, dress a certain way, don't be too bold. But now women are raising girls like, hey, you can do this. You can be an engineer. You can be an architect. You can be anything that you want. You can even be a president. But we hardly hear women saying to boys, hey, mind your words, act accordingly, don't be vulgar, be respectful, take care of the home, cook, help out. It's hardly. So we let boys be boys, and we always we keep the girls in check. So that's Gloria Steinman. And then recently, Ernestine, what's her name? Ernestine Shepherd, the 75-year-old African-American lady that got into bodybuilding. Amazing. So there's a revolution that people are now, it's okay to take care of yourself. Don't have to be embarrassed. It's okay. And it benefits her. She looks fantastic. So those are the people that inspires me. It makes me feel light and happy, and something to look forward to be inspired is to something to work up to. You don't have to be in the same par, but to look forward to. And then Diane Carroll, she was the first African American in the sitcom called Julia, you know, and it was not typical stereotype where, you know, she's a slave or whatever, and she's a beautiful African American. But that was the first time I saw somebody that is my skin color. You know, so because being told in modeling is that, you know, you're too dark, too black. I mean, I've gone to photo shoots where they put my head so light then from my neck and my body that it's just like, you know, somebody put another head. So all these are changes for me that and then the girls now, you know, they have so many different shades of colors for makeup, you know, and it's just incredible. So I think like Iman, the model, you know, so all this are inspiring to me. Not just fitness, but the whole holistic way we look at life and women, color, race, gender.
That's fabulous. And along that, sorry about that. And are you getting feedback on your side?
No.
Okay, great. So along with that, Laila, along with being inspired, we always try to do things and try to become better, but sometimes we slip up or we make the wrong decision, right? Because that's what all, you know, being inspired and then trying, getting inspired again and trying again. So can you share with us what is one of the best and worst decisions that you've ever made? So let's start with the best decision that you've ever made first.
I think the best decision for me was slowly working part-time as a fitness instructor. Because I was a housewife, I raised my kids as a mother at that time. I was married, and I had the opportunity because I was second in class of 88 students at Sports Council when I took the personal training fitness instructor course. I was given the opportunity to work nearby my house at that time. So I would work 3 hours a day, 3 times a week for $15. So that was the best decision that I did. I mean, it was a wonder. I mean, I can still remember it, you know, going to work, you know, wearing the uniform, coming home, taking care of the family. So that was the best decision instead of just, I guess, you know, in some way, God has something stored in me and he knows what's going to happen. So that was the best decision to go back to the workforce for me.
And so in terms of going back to the workforce, does this have something to do with what you're doing now, or were you doing different jobs before and then you had one particular one that you really liked?
Well, I've done a lot of jobs since I worked. My father was a tyrant. He would make us work during school holidays. It doesn't matter what it is. School holidays, you have to work. So it's already embedded in us to work. But I worked as, a model, which it's not for me. You know, I'm the laziest person. I can tell you that. And you know, every time you say your hair looks great, I say, yeah, because I wash it. But you know, you have to take care of yourself, right? Like you have to take care of your skin, your hair. You have to wash your hair. You know, it takes a lot of upkeep. So it wasn't for me. But I was grateful for it. Then I worked as a unit trust manager for a bank. It was the first, believe it or not, it was the first that came to Singapore. And I worked for a few months, made a lot of money, but it wasn't for me because it was in an office. And I'm too stubborn to be told what to do. Then the job that I really love was production assistant. So Singapore, every year they have a song, National Day song. So I think we were the first or the second titled, the song was called We Are Singapore. So I love it. I would look for locations. I would sleep at the back of a lorry, a truck, you know, look for talents. So we put it together, and I love it because it was freeing for me. I can move around. And then I became a housewife, which was the hardest job in the world. I don't care what you say. There's no break. Even though you think that you prepared everything, you're not. because you say, okay, here's the water, here's the food, here's this, and they go like, mommy, something happens, they fall on the floor. I mean, there was a time where I went out to meet my friends. I had one eyebrow drawn because I was so busy. So that was the hardest part, because you can't get away. You know, you go to a company, you work for a company, you can have lunch break, tea break, you know, meetings and whatever it is. It's a hard job, you know, but hey, you know, I did it, and then I fell in love with fitness, and that is the longest profession. I've been in this industry for 20 years.
And
still
so,
evolving.
and still it works, right? You had all of that. So that was the best decision. And there were several there. You mentioned several different decisions. And it's typically not just one decision that one makes, right? It's a series of decisions that lead on to a series of better decisions, right? It just keeps going, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still evolving. I'm still, you know, creating and learning at the same time. So.
What was the worst decision that you made?
The worst decision that I made, but you know, okay, I'm just going to say it. The worst decision is not ending my relationship when I had the chance to, or I'm supposed to. Let's just say that. But on the other hand, if I look at it, I would not have been where I am, because it's a learning process also. So for me, the number 3 is very important. Don't ask me why. I would be upset for 3 days. If really something that breaks my heart, I would be upset for 3 days. And then I go like, okay, that's it, enough, let's move forward. So things that happens to me with whether my friends or my partners or my relationship, it just takes 3 strikes and you're out. So I waited the third time when it happened to me in my marriage. I think I waited too long for it. So it was still too long. So that was the worst.
That was the worst. And so 3 strikes and you're out. Are you a baseball player?
No, I'm Singaporean now. I'm not baseball.
Okay. So that's a 3-strike rule. That's a 3-strike rule. So everyone who's watching here, you want to get, you know, Laila to walk the other way. 1st strike, 2nd strike, 3rd strike, you're out. You're out of the game. No, I make light of it, but I totally feel where you're coming from, because I think a lot of people need to do that. They need to set limits as to how much they will take. As you said about yourself, you may have waited too long. Unfortunately, some people, they never decide to move out of the game, and they get hurt until the point where they're just shattered, right?
Right. I think they don't see any way out. This is what they know. They don't have the confidence. They invest too much in other people instead of themselves. They lose that confidence in themselves. So I think you have to give yourself a chance before you take care of. I've always said it, and I've been called selfish. I don't care. Before you can take care of your entire family or the world, you need to take care of yourself. How can you go on preaching to people and you don't even know what you're talking about? You don't even practice what you preach. So,
which is fascinating. Laila, have you always thought like this? Have you always been the person that you are?
I think since I was 13.
Ever since you're what, 13?
13, yeah. I've seen things differently. I'm more balanced and practical about it since I was 13.
So, okay, let's go back there for just a moment. When you were 13 or maybe even younger, did you have like the dream job that you wanted to do when you were that young?
Of course I did. Hello. But I know I would suck at it because I'm not good at math or whatever. I wanted to be an architect. Can you believe that? So I'm going to tell you why I wanted to be an architect. So, you know, in Singapore, we have the expressway, which is the highway, right? In everywhere else that they call it. You Nickel Highway, you pass by and you see this Golden Mile complex. So you would see the building looking like this if you ever pass Nickel Highway. And I'm always fascinated. How do they make that? I said, I really want to be an architect, but that didn't work out. So that's my dream job. And then besides that, my other dream is to just sleep. I was so lazy. I would sleep. The best profession, if anybody would pay me to sleep. You know, I swear, I'm not lying. But these are the two things that fascinated me: sleep, and if people pay me for it, without any obligations, just sleeping.
Well, they do have sleep therapy clinics that you could join, right? I don't know how much they pay either, right? That would be an awesome job, though, wouldn't it? Until you got tired of sleeping.
Yeah, but when you're young, you don't aspire to anything, right? So all you want to do is sleep. You have no focus. You have no plans. You know, that was just a thought. Like, I want to be an architect. Did I pursue it? No. But you don't have any. You don't know where you're going. You know, I finished high school and that's it. You know, I was, my father was, you know, not working, don't want to study. And we didn't have enough money to study anyways. There were 9 of us, for heaven's sake. We hardly have money to pay for the school bus. I remember it was embarrassing and traumatic when my father didn't pay the school bus and I got chased away. So get out the bus. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, this is so traumatic. But you know what? He did what he can do, the best that he can do. But you know, and then you don't aspire for anything, so all you do is sleep. Oh my God, just sleep. I'm so tired. But hey, now I don't sleep.
But you mentioned architect because of the pathways or whatever else in terms of the roads. But you can't do that now, though, right? When you help people design gyms, isn't that sort of like architecture, design, and whatnot?
Yeah, so that's why you're a smart one. I didn't even see that. So.
I'm just psychoanalyzing. I'm not any good at psychoanalyzing. I'm just trying, okay? Just throwing it out.
No, you're fantastic. You always, you know, get my words out. That makes me sound a lot more intelligent than I really am. But yeah, that's what I do. I work with designers. You know, I work with the whole team when I design gyms. So yeah, I'm architect. Yeah, I call it creator or designer. Yeah. Which is
interesting. Yeah, because when you were young and you were thinking about being an architect, in your head, was there a picture of architect as a man or architect as a woman? Because typically, okay, I'm making a real huge stereotype here. An architect could be perceived as a male, right?
You could be, but I never thought of it that way. I just wanted to be an architect. So maybe subconsciously, I know that I'm capable of doing anything with I never put gender as a barrier. I never.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, Laila, what are some of the barriers that are holding women back? And the reason why I was just using that as a segue into the architect, because it's interesting, because at 13 years old, you didn't have these barriers in your brain. Do you think that young women of today, or just women in general, have barriers that are holding them back, whether or not it's their own barriers or whether or not it's an external barrier?
I think everybody has barriers. I think it's more prominent in women because the way we are raised, the way the obstacles are put up for us and against us, being told that you can't do it because, you know, just get married and have kids, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. And it's still, you'd be surprised, even in developed countries now, there are women still being told that. Just do the best that you can. And it's for girls now, it's harder because of, you know, the good part of social media, you applaud it, and the bad part of social media, you know, it's devastating. For the girls, I think that everybody is into this social media itself, that they lose sight of themselves. So everybody's trying to achieve a certain look or certain certain way that they should be without really learning about themselves. So it boils down to their self-confidence again, without knowing yourself internally, and then just go and look at the outside. So there's a lot of pressure for girls. The barrier is there's an expectation because they get so many likes because of the way they look from men or other women. There's a lot of pressure for them. So the barrier is, how can I cope? So they become into depression and do not know how to get out of that rut. Does it make sense? Is that do I answer your question?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Because but what you're saying is that these are these internal barriers, right? And social media plays a big part of that. Is it just the internal confidence, as you mentioned, barriers that are preventing us from being who we can be, or are there external barriers as well?
I think it's both. Because when people from the outside keep telling you and you believe it, you keep hearing it, you don't hear anything positive from other sources, you start to believe it. I pity, I feel sorry for especially the women now. Women are being shredded to pieces about the way they look. And for a man, if a man lifts up or shirtless or whatever, they just say, oh, he looks buff, oh, must be steroids. But for women, from head to toe, the hair is too grimy, the eyes is too big. It's very critical when it comes to women. So that all those are working against women, girls, especially the girls now.
All right. So in what way are they working against women or girls? In other words, the comments that men make, the situations that people believe that aren't real. How does that prevent a person, a woman or a girl, from actually moving forward?
I can only speak from my own experience. At the end of the day, when you're alone, you know what you're about. Doesn't matter. You put on makeup to make yourself look great. Fantastic. Take off the makeup, sit by yourself, know what your values are, who you are as a person. You can play roles. We all play roles in this life. Once you step out of the house, you're supposed to play roles. Nobody wants to hear about your life all the time. You can share, right, with the right individual. Then don't lash out with your partner in public. Nobody wants to hear that. Keep that in the house. Why use people as a weapon to show what miserable shits you both are? It's people's time also. They come and make effort to see you. So be wary of that. So you have to know who you are, what you're about. The rest of the other things will come. It doesn't matter whether you are a job or an offer or something. If you know what you're about and you're willing to evolve, it will all work out. Do not get so caught up with the outside, what you have to look like. You have to impress this person. You have to be great because everybody's great. You have to be famous because everybody's famous. You want to do YouTube because everybody's doing YouTube. This quick fix money fame has gone way overboard to me. So that's my advice. Know your values. Know what you are about at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, if you get hit by a bus or a car, you lose your hand, you lose your arm, you lose your face. That person that's inside you will always remain.
And Laila, I think that is what makes you such an international celebrity, is not because you're beautiful, which you are, but because of the way that you believe and how you won't let that external beauty affect the real person inside of you. That's why people are drawn to you. And I think that's fascinating. So all the young girls out there, if you're watching this, understand that you don't have to change who you are on the inside, regardless of what happens on the outside. Based on what Laila is, what she's saying, that's just fantastic, Laila. I think that's just keynote to who you are. And, because a lot of people, if they do something really stupid or really, shocking or whatever the case may be, they'll get this whole international coverage. But what I found was very interesting about the coverage on you internationally was that they started off saying, yeah, buffed mom and, guess how old she is. But then they started to do the story and they started to discover that this person, not woman or man, but this person is really changing individuals' lives and the way that they perceive themselves. And I guess that was my intention of getting you on this interview today, was so that we could hear it, because there's only so much that people will understand about you, Laila, if they look at your pictures or if they read your comments. But when they hear your words, that's what's really powerful. And I'm hoping that individuals will have more of an opportunity to get close to what it is that you believe. And in order to do that, Laila, how can they? What are your plans for the future now that you believe in this? What are you looking to help people with, and what are your pursuits?
So there are upcoming plans. So you can come and spend 5 days with me and my partner on an island where we both believe, mind, body, and soul and spirit. So we will give you, we are there to assist you and help you to get closer to who you are, who you need to be. And we are there 100% because we know exactly what we're talking about, because we both walk and talk. What do you say? Walk the walk, talk the talk, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
we walk the talk.
So we are launching this on our islands, not our islands, my God, can you imagine? Islands, the programs, so stay tuned, it will be all revealed soon, next year. You can put some input in this too.
I'm not going to. You're doing fine, okay? Because I'm here to ask the questions. I don't have to answer. Okay, so let me help you out here, okay? So, Laila, what is it? Because you mentioned that there's going to be something going on the island. What is it about an island that's any different than doing it in a hotel convention hall or at a resort on Sentosa? Why would someone even want to go to an island and do what they're going to do with you?
Right. So the best part is that you don't, if you are around Asia, you don't have to take a flight. So it's door to door. I hate flying. I fly a lot, but it's also taking away all these distractions, especially with everything. When you are in a city, everything, even though you go to the gym, you eat right, whatever, but you are not settled. You're not settled. Your inner being is not settled. Let's take away all the distraction. Let's get back. Let's go into the core of things. Your own emotions, your mind. So everything is connected to the brain. Let us help you with your brain. Before you even get to your body, let's work on your brain first. Because you and I know, Bill, there are people that get fit for a short period and they go back to their old self or worse. But there's something going on. It's easy. There's a lot of fancy workouts, but what are people doing for their brain? What are people, that this is the most important thing that you train first. You train this will come. So that's what's happening on the island. So that's the difference that we can offer on the island. And it's as intimate, it's amazing and beautiful. It's surrounded by water, it's clean. You can't see the service people. You on the island, getting to the core of things. And people throw away this word community a lot. Let's build that. I'm giving you the opportunity to build the community. Let's build together. Let's be a great unit. And when you leave the unit, you'll be a great individual. So that's what we aim for.
That's fantastic. And Laila, sorry, go ahead.
So that's on the island. We will feed your soul with the right soil. Meaning the programs about food that you need to do. And then we talk about the mind, of course, and physical. Physical, it doesn't have to be. Everybody's in this fast-paced, intense, and I do it too. I do intensity, but there are times where I take a break, where I take my walks with the green. So on this island's beautiful sand. Let's get back to where we come from, the nature of things, feel, smell, touch. All these things are important. These are the things that enrich the brain. So instead of just working on the muscle of the body, let's work on the muscle of the mind.
And of course, one of the key features is you're going to be there with individuals, right?
Yes, that's the key. I don't know whether it's a plus, but that's the key.
Of course it is. You've got an international following, so they're all going to want to get some kind of an angel dust brush off from Laila, and this is the perfect opportunity. You can't deny it, Laila. I mean, you're an international superstar celebrity. You are, and that's what it is, and it is fantastic. I mean, who better than someone like you who believes the way that you do, who looks the way that you do, and actually achieves and fulfills the things that she says. You literally do walk the talk. And I think that's what's really important, Laila. So you got to own this, baby. You got to own it. Okay. It's not a mistake. Laila, I'm going to let you go here. But once again, we want to mention that you actually have a Christmas gift for people, right? All the viewers. So tell us about that.
So I'm going to show you exercises, movement. I'll call it movement that you can do. Sign up now. It's a Christmas gift from after 20 years. People have been asking me, and I finally decided that this is it's time to do this and share my expertise with you. And hope you like it. And let's welcome 2018 with a big bang. And let's focus on the being well for you and taking care of you. And that's my gift for you with exercises you can do.
Fantastic.
On the video.
And Laila, and that's what's going to be really great. So if they sign in now, right, they can sign in based on the link. And folks, we're going to put the link up in the comment section because you cannot click on it when it's on the screen, but it's going to be there. And you can click in any time between now and forever, okay, because the link will always be there. And Laila, you're going to be doing these exercises, right? So you're not like subcontracting this out to some other body, right?
Yes, I will be doing it myself.
Okay, and what are some of the benefits of this short case video, meaning this short course video that people can get? So in other words, why would people want to get a hold of these videos from you?
Because I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm
great.
No, but I'm a great believer for safety and form, which is the biggest issues for me. To do it safely, you increase stamina and strength. You build a sense of achievement, and I want you to start because I started at home. You can do it anywhere. You can go to the gym or whatever, but I want to start doing exercise, which is simple for you to do now. And then we go towards the journey and we evolve. So you will benefit a lot by doing it instead of not doing it. So great. I'm giving you a gift to start loving yourself.
Excellent. And folks, for those of you who sign in, you'll also be able to be on Laila's premier list. That means that the first things that come up and everything that Laila is doing in terms of premium products and whatnot, and correct me if I'm wrong, Laila, they're going to get firsthand and they'll be able to follow you in a more exclusive way than if they just follow you on Facebook. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, Laila, thank you so much. Folks, we've been speaking with Laila. She's an international celebrity and mom, okay? And it's fantastic. And Laila is getting ready to give everyone a Christmas present. She's going to be filming some exclusive videos, but you have to be in her premier list group, and that link will be put up later on in the comment section. So you want to get a hold of that. And Laila is also going to be creating together with me and Anton. We have to give a shout out to Anton, okay?
Yes.
On his island, we are doing business together in terms of opening up something that's going to be absolutely fantastic, okay? Think about the plane. For those people who that is way too old for, okay? That has to do with
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island. There you go. Go look it up, people. Google it, all right? Laila, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you in your videos. We look forward to seeing the expansion of your celebrityism around the world. And hopefully we look forward to seeing you on the island. So that's pretty wicked.
Thank you very much, Bill, for having me and always giving me a voice, which sounds a lot smarter, and summarizing it for me. Thank you. And thank you for your friendship and all your encouragement. I'm very, very grateful to be your friend.
You're welcome, Laila. You're welcome. And folks, so what we were doing is we were speaking with Laila. Yes. And this is the music that I had for her. I'm Bill Calhoun, folks. And so we're going to be out of here. Make sure you sign up and you'll be able to get the videos from Laila. Merry Christmas, folks. And let me give you a little snow here. There you go. There's the snow. Okay, let me give you a little reindeer. And let me give you a little Santa Claus. And there it is. Bye-bye, you guys. Take care. I'm out of here.